thoughts on this?
I have heard about it. I think this is absolute nonsense. The Falkland Islands are British. They have been for a very long time. The sovereignty is British sovereignty. This is one of the things that worries me about the changing world. I'm not like Keir Starmer, giving away the Chagos Islands and surrendering British territory. We need to make sure that we back the Falklands. They are British territory. I don't know what Donald Trump is talking about. Sounds like the sort of thing he was saying when it came to Greenland. I don't think we need to take it that seriously just yet. We need to make sure that we are very determined in protecting British sovereign territory, and that includes the Falkland Islands as well as Chagos. I don't think the assisted dying bill should come back. It was hopelessly flawed. There were all sorts of problems with it. The safeguards removed. This is not what we need to be doing right now. We need to be talking about improving people's lives, not how to end people's lives. This is not about the House of Lords, which Keir Starmer himself is trying to subvert, putting in people like Matthew Doyle. About 4 of the peers he's put in have already been suspended. This is a disgrace. Keir Starmer is the one who's messing up the House of Lords. The House of Lords is not the problem. Keir Starmer is.
Let's just come on to the Mandelson affair. You've written to the Cabinet Secretary demanding a full release of all papers. Cat Little has been saying they're all going to be released. Are you satisfied with that?
No, they should have been released by now. The humble address and the vote to release the papers was done quite a long while ago. And I think it is extraordinary that the members of the Intelligence and Security Committee are saying that they're not seeing the documents that they should be seeing. What is the government hiding? Actually, quite a lot of this has to do with local elections. 20-mile-per-hour zones are enforced by councils up and down the country, and they are, in fact, causing misery to many people. They are put in inappropriate places, and what we're saying is that we're bringing back common sense to driving policy. We need to help drivers. I'm an MP for a rural area. People have to drive everywhere, to school, to work. The cost of fuel is so high, so we want to stop Labour's fuel duty rise that's coming in September. That's not fair. We want to stop the planned ban on petrol and diesel cars. We are not ready for it. The infrastructure is not there. Let's bring back some common sense. That's what the plan for drivers is. We need to bring back common sense and make sure that 20-mile-per-hour zones are not put in places that are done inappropriately. This is what the Conservative Party under my leadership is. It's a new party under new leadership. Just because something happened under previous leaders doesn't mean it's going to happen under me. I want people to know what kind of person I am. When I was business secretary, I was very much against that ban on petrol and diesel cars. I fought against it, managed to get it delayed. Now that I'm in charge, I can say, no, we're not doing this. We're going to allow them to be phased out naturally through the markets. We need to make sure that infrastructure has to be in place. Let's bring back common sense. That's what our plan for drivers is.
Okay, I mean, the zero EV mandate was introduced by your government.
Not my government. I was someone who was vocally against it, very much so. In 2019, when the legislation for net zero came in, I stood up in Parliament and spoke against it. So people can see that I have been consistent. I'm the new leader of the Conservative Party. I'm not one of the others. They had their plans, I have my own. The car industry is leaving our country. We are losing our auto industry. We're losing manufacturing. I was at a refinery yesterday, the last one in Wales. We only have 4 left in this country. The US has 160. We've lost Grangemouth in Scotland. Industry is disappearing. Sticking to rules that are killing industry is what Labour want to do, and the Lib Dems and the Greens with them. The Conservative Party is the party that has common sense and is thinking about how we keep Britain working, how we get Britain working. I know that we need to win back the trust of the people in Swindon. That's one of the reasons why I'm here today, letting them know that this is a new Conservative Party under new leadership with new policies like our plan for drivers, making life easier for people. So we're fighting for every single vote. I want people to know that 4 years ago, Keir Starmer stood here and said that they were going to freeze council tax. It has gone up by 15%. We are going to make sure that we keep council tax as low as we possibly can.
Could still go up.
We don't make promises that we cannot deliver. A lot of the funding which councils get comes from government. So if the government cuts funding, changes need to be made. What I do know is that we have sensible leaders here. I've got Gary Sumners, who's a fantastic leader here. He knows what he is doing. And if he becomes the leader of Swindon Council, then I know that he is going to deliver properly for the people here, not just make empty promises like reform, saying one thing today and another thing tomorrow, or like what Keir Starmer did here 4 years ago, say we're going to freeze your council tax, and actually it's gone up. We need to turn Swindon blue. We need to make sure that we kick Labour out. Look at the mess that they are making all over the country. We have a Prime Minister who is in office but not in power. He has no idea what he's doing. There's only one party with a plan to get Britain working again, and that is the Conservative Party. plan for drivers. And the reason why we have this plan is because people have had enough. They are tired of being picked on, harassed, and stopped from getting about their daily business. We need to get Britain moving again. We need to get Britain working again. Has Richard covered those 6 items on the plan? Does everybody know what's in the plan? Axing the fuel tax rise, fixing roads with a national pothole patrol, ending the blanket 20-mile-per-hour zones that means we're crawling all around the country. No one is getting anywhere. We need to scrap that ban on petrol and diesel cars, ending the ZEV mandate. We're going to clear the driving test backlogs. It is most unfair on young people in particular. They are really struggling. They need to get in their cars. They need to find jobs. How are they going to do that if they can't even get anywhere? And of course, we are going to get rid of those 24-hour bus lanes that are not needed and are causing congestion. That is our plan. People up and down the country are struggling. They are struggling with the cost of living, they have high energy bills, and they don't know who it is that's going to solve their problems for them. They can see a Labour Party that's got no answers. They can see a Reform Party that's giving everybody a different answer. Today they're doing one thing, the next day they're doing another. People need seriousness. That is why I am here with my team. I'm here with Richard. We are a strong, united team in the Conservative Party. This is a new Conservative Party under new leadership. We recognise the mistakes we made in the past. We are changing and we have a new offer for Britain. That will deliver a stronger economy, a stronger country, will get Britain working again. And part of that is our plan for drivers. So vote Conservative in Swindon and up and down the United Kingdom on May the 7th.
I'll take it back, Colin. Colin?
It was 5 hours. All right, 3, 2, 1. Right. Is very helpful. I want us to be able to show that we have got a plan for Welsh industry. A lot of jobs in Wales relied on heavy industry. Things are changing. When I was the Secretary of State for Business, I had a turnaround plan for the Tata Steel complex. I am disgusted every single time I hear these stories. There are people who are taking our country for a ride, coming here trying to claim asylum, which is for genuine refugees, when really they've come here to do harm to others. This is why it's really important that we solve this small boats crisis. That's why I've changed the Conservative Party policy. We're going to leave the ECHR. We also need a deterrent. We had the Rwanda plan, which was acting as a deterrent, people knowing that they'd be sent elsewhere, not here. They've scrapped that plan, which means that more people are coming to the UK, knowing that they will be housed, and also a borders plan. It's not just leaving the ECHR. There's a lot that needs to be done. Removals plan, looking at immigration tribunals, visa sanctions, and so on. We've thought this all through, and we found the money to pay for it. But as a woman in particular, I do worry so much about a lot of men coming here with attitudes that are backwards and medieval and thinking that they can do whatever they like. We need to be very tough on them. That's why we want to see 10,000 more police officers on the streets. We want to see consequences for people who assault, people who rape. I do not want women in this country being worried about what's going to happen to them. For a very long time, people were feeling very safe on the streets of the United Kingdom in every nation. This is changing. We need to get back to the country we used to be. No, I believe that right now what people are seeing is a new Conservative Party under new leadership with a new strategy. We've learned from the mistakes of the past and we are changing. We have only just left office less than 2 years ago in a historic defeat. It takes time to win trust back. So the important thing is to stay the course and make sure that we continue to earn the trust of the public.
Would you make Darren Miller step down?
Not at all. Darren Miller is the best person to be First Minister. He is someone who has integrity, unlike parties like Reform, whose last leader in Wales is actually in prison right now for taking bribes from Russia. Not at all. The Prime Minister used selective quotes from Ollie Robbins' testimony to make it look like he was supporting the Prime Minister. That was far from the case. What's actually happened is that Keir Starmer has misled Parliament yet again, just like when he misled Parliament saying there was full due process, and even his own MPs are worried about what he is doing. His cabinet members have started briefing against him. He is a man in office but with no authority. Well, I think that St George's Day is a day to remember English history and a pride in so many achievements that have happened. I think all of us who live in England, who are English, need to remember the good things that have happened. So my message on St George's Day was really about taking pride in history. And that's one of the things that I want young people in particular, who often feel very despondent about their history and about their country. I want them to feel optimistic, not just about the past, but also their future. So we have, as part of our New Deal for young people, we want to shift the balance away from a lot of courses that people are racking up debt with, but not actually getting jobs at the end, and shifting that money into apprenticeships. So we found the funding to double the number of apprenticeships, and that is by removing those university courses that are not just very poor value, often leave people worse off than if they'd never done the course before. So there are some people who go to university, they get a lot of debt, but then they pay it off. There are others who they never pay the debt off, and there are some who not only do they not pay the debt off, they can't get jobs, which they might have been able to get if they'd done something else. So they are much, much worse off. So we want to kill off those terrible courses that are racking up, lots of debt for young people, putting that into apprenticeships, doubling the number of apprentices, and making sure that you just get a head